In this video, you will learn how to thread and use the Janome 2122. Select your thread color from our available options. You may also bring your own. Most of our sewing supplies are stored in the drawer on the sewing table. We keep our bobbins in these bobbin cases to keep them organized. Be sure to inspect your bobbin before using it to ensure that it is neatly wound, like this one. Improperly wound bobbins like this one will jam the machine and cause issues. If you need to wind your own bobbin, find an empty bobbin in the case. Turn the machine on using the switch on the side. Pull upwards on the spool holder on the top of the machine and place your spool. Wrap the thread around the tension disc, then pass the loose end of the thread through the hole in the bobbin from the inside out. Place the bobbin on the bobbin winder. Gently twist the bobbin while holding the metal winder still until the bobbin snaps into place. Push the bobbin to the right. This will put the machine into bobbin winding mode. While holding the loose end of the thread straight above the bobbin, press the pedal to begin winding. Stop when the thread has made a few revolutions, then cut the thread about 1 centimeter above the bobbin. Continue winding until you have your desired amount of bobbin thread. Do not wind the thread past the plastic sides of the bobbin. Push the bobbin winder back to the left and remove the bobbin. Snip the thread. Let's thread the top thread. First, ensure that the machine is turned off. With the spool on the spool holder, pull the thread out to the left and pass it through the metal bar at the top of the first channel. Guide the thread down the channel and around the bend. When you begin to guide the thread back up the adjacent channel, hold it with both hands and pull upward until you feel the thread slot into place. Continue guiding the thread until you come back to the top. For the next step, you want the needle to be in its highest position so that you can see the thread uptake lever. Turn the hand wheel away from you until the lever rises above the surface, then slot the thread into place. Guide the thread back down the channel. Pass the thread through the large metal bar above the needle, then pass it through the smaller one. Then thread the loose end through the eye of the needle. Unlike the Singer Heavy Duty and Quantum Stylus machines, the Janome 2122 has a front-loading bobbin. You will often see these on older or more simple machines. Slide the cover off the machine and open the door to the hook race. Pull the latch on the bobbin case and pull it out of the machine. Insert the bobbin into the case with the thread going clockwise. Guide the thread into the small slot until it passes into the larger slot. Being careful not to let the bobbin fall out, lift the latch again and insert the bobbin case back into its slot. Make sure that the metal bar fits into the notch at the top of the hook race. You can now close the door to the hook race and slide the cover back on. While holding the top thread out to the side, turn the hand wheel away from you until the needle goes down into the plate and comes back up. It should draw the bottom thread out of the needle plate. Pull this thread out and pass the top thread through the hole in the presser foot. Sweep both threads towards the back, ensuring a few inches of loose thread. The most common stitch you will likely use is the straight stitch. We recommend testing your stitches out on a scrap piece of your project fabric to ensure that everything looks correct before starting your final piece. Place your fabric under the presser foot and lower it. Press down on the pedal when you're ready to sew. Please note, it is best to use a very light pressure on the pedal at first, since this machine does not have a speed control slider and can run very fast with a heavy foot. Sew 3 or 4 stitches, then stop. We will now use back stitching to lock your stitches in place. This essentially replaces the need for tying knots. To backstitch, press and hold the backstitch lever while pressing the pedal. The sewing machine will sew backwards for as long as you hold the lever and the pedal down. Continue sewing your project. You want to have your hands on the fabric to gently guide it, but you also don't want to shove it through. The feed dogs will pull the fabric through on their own. When you reach the end, use the same backstitching technique to lock your final stitches into place. Raise the presser foot, then pull your project out to the side. You can cut the threads with scissors or with the built-in cutter on the side of the machine. The Janome 2122 has a few stitch options that you can choose from. Each one is indicated in this graphic along with its corresponding letter. You can use the stitch selection knob to choose which one you want. Caution, please make sure the needle is raised before turning this knob. You can adjust individual stitches to suit your needs. Use the length knob to change the length of your stitches. To adjust the stitch width for the zigzag stitch, turn the stitch selection wheel to a spot between the letters C and B to select a stitch width. We will go over what tension is in a later video, but if you find that you need to adjust it, you can do so using this knob. Some stitches require different feet. The feet required for each stitch are listed in the manual, which is linked on the LibGuide. The following images are the recommended feet and settings for each stitch that this machine does. Feel free to pause if needed. To change feet, you'll first need to release the old foot using the foot lever on the back of the shank. Select your desired foot from the presser foot set in the plastic bag labeled to go with the machine. Carefully position the foot so that the bar on the foot is directly below the shank. Lower the presser foot down onto the foot. If you aligned it right, the foot should snap into place and raise with the shank when you raise the presser foot lever.